raw Aussie athlete.
So I want to take a moment before January 2017 finishes off. I want to take a moment just to reflect on 2016 and what a great year it was for me, particularly with running. I started the year off on New Year's Day 2016 with a run called the Beyond the Black Stump, which is a hot, I think it's 35-kilometre run through bushland near the Hawkesbury River in New South Wales, Australia, and lots of hills, and just a run I've wanted to do for years. Finally I could fit it on my calendar, so I did it and thoroughly enjoyed it. The following day at 6 or 7 p.m, I started the Narrabeen all-nighter 12-hour race. So on the 2nd of January I ran 100 kilometres in 12 hours on a sort of mostly flat but a little bit undulating 5k trail. So not a super fast course, but pretty kind as far as hills go. So a fairly fast course, but you're not going to set any records on it. And so that was great. Then I got into my work and actually started writing my book series Inspired to Run back then, which just last night I finished the first volume of that, like completely finished. It's now with a couple of editors, and so all the cover, designed the cover and did all the layout and design and all the front matter and back matter and content and the indexing and bibliographies and all that fun stuff. Wow, writing books. That's my first books I've ever written. So yeah, it's right what they say, it takes a lot longer than what you think. I can see why most people never finish their first book, and that's why a lot of people just say I'm going to write a book, but a very small percentage of people actually have written a book. Because even just writing the content, I know a lot of people that have completely written the content for their book, they never release the book because it takes so much more work to do a good bibliography and to the referencing and the cover design and whatever. And then once you finally publish it, then the marketing, promoting and all that sort of stuff, it's a whole nother job. So very time consuming, but very rewarding. So I'm grateful that I've written the content for all 9 of my books over 2016. Actually just finishing it off into January, February of 2017. But most of the work was done in 2016. And I'm super proud of that. So they'll all be released in 2017 on the website http://inspired2.run. So the domain name is run. So which is a domain name for running focused websites. And then so I got into writing that. I ran my Thailand adventure retreats. For the first time I ran 2 of them in back to back, each 2 weeks. So for the whole month of May I was running retreats in Thailand, in Canterbury, with friends, and it was amazing. What a fantastic time. Changed people's lives, and I love it so much. Then I went from there to the Sheng Durian farm in Penang, Malaysia, where I did work exchange for about 7 weeks, which included 2 weeks of the Sheng Durian Festival, because we ran two festivals back to back for that. Last year in 2017 there's just one Sheng Durian Festival, and unfortunately if you haven't already signed up that's full, but my Thailand adventure retreats still have some spaces left for 2017. And then from Penang, Malaysia, where I did a lot of running training in the mountains, I went to England for the UK Fruit Festival, which was a phenomenal event, as it has been every year. And every year it keeps getting better, as Ronnie promises. Ronnie, the festival creator and organizer. it's just a brilliant event. Amazing presenters, beautiful. It just attracts beautiful people, and there's a good balance of education and fitness classes and personal development kind of stuff, as well as time to interact with each other socially, with dance sessions and classes and men's circles and women's circles, which are very powerful. They have some great facilitators running those events, those activities. So UK Fruit Festival was a dream. I recommend you go this year, 2017. Get your butts down to UK Fruit Festival. Tickets will be going on sale soon. And then what happened after that? I went from just days after the UK Fruit Festival. Where am I now? Just days after the UK Fruit Festival, I went in a race across England with support crew by my good friend Olmo, who's a legend. Did an amazing job being support crew for me as I ran 240 kilometres across England in the C2C Ultra in 34 hours 55 minutes, I think it was. It was about 5 minutes under 35 hours, maybe 7 minutes under, something thereabouts. And that was amazing. I came 7th out of 15 people that entered in that race. I mean, you've got to imagine there's not a lot of people that are willing to run 240 kilometres across from one side of a country to the other, but that was a kind of low-key race, so it's not attracting a lot of entries. So I'm just checking my maps to make sure I don't miss my turn. Got to head off onto a trail here. Here we go. So that was amazing. Coming equal 7th out of 15 people in that race across England. And then, and that's the first time I'd ever run that distance without having any sleep. So, head down here. So I didn't sleep at all during that race. I did hallucinate, which was very interesting. I kind of was half, you're in a dreamy state, and you're in that sort of dream world, half awake, half asleep, and I was just my mind was filling in some blanks. Like I was running along in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden I'd just kind of have some sort of awareness that there were people just off to the side of the trail, and then I sort of realised it was a mother just kind of pulling her young son's pants down so he could pee in the bushes, and that was it. But of course they weren't there at all. Like, it was just totally in my imagination. But I guess your mind just gets creative when you get super tired, just to fill in the blanks. I don't know. The subconscious. It's kind of like when you dream. I guess when you're so tired and relaxed, then I don't know, dream state gets triggered. And then 19 days after running across England, I was in Seattle in the US, and I ran in the Cascade Crest 100, which is 100 miles through mountains with over 22,000 feet. Sorry, there's a bit of a steep hill here, with 22,000 feet elevation gain. Elevation gain, and the thing that was really cool about that race was that it had some really fast runners in it. People that had set the course record the year before, and Hal Kerner and some other famous ultra runners were in it. And I was in the top 20 out of 160 starters for the first quarter of the race. And I found myself like running up hills where I normally for sure would have walked, and I felt really strong, and like it was amazing. I just felt really good, and I was effortlessly just kind of passing people going up hills, which I'd never experienced feeling so strong up hills before. And I'm sure it was just because I'd run across England just less than 3 weeks earlier. So I just had some some rapid kind of fitness from that was still with me. Because there's a lot of hills running across England, a lot. So many big hills. Really long hills. Climbing for kilometres sometimes. Yeah, amazing. Very beautiful though. Beautiful race across England. The Cascade Crest 100 miler, the toughest thing for me was the middle of the race, like the middle half of the race. From like maybe 40 miles into, I don't know, to maybe until the last 3 or 4 hours of the race. I was just in zombie land. I just kept falling asleep. You know, and I felt like I got a reasonable amount of sleep leading up to the race. So I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I was sleep deprived at all. And I don't, it could have been because I went, I felt so strong at the start that I went harder than usual, but I didn't feel fatigued though. I just felt sleepy, so it was a weird one. And I couldn't snap myself out of it because, I don't take all the stuff the other ultra runners take. I don't take painkillers, I don't take sedatives, I don't take, no dose, things like that to stop you from sleeping. I don't take any of the I don't take salt. I don't take salt capsules. I don't take gels. I don't take any of the coenzyme Q10 or whatever crazy things people are taking these days. I don't take any of that stuff. I just have fruits, vegetables, and water. And the vegetables is usually only celery, if that. So it's usually just fruit and water, and my own mind to keep me awake. I guess I had the option to slap myself in the face, but that doesn't work too well either, I don't think. So yeah, so I was really sleepy through the middle of that race. Lost probably 40 positions through the night. As other runners kept going past me. Sorry, another intersection. And yeah, and then with about 3 hours, the last 3 hours of the race, I ate a couple of bananas that I'd been carrying for hours, now totally liquefied and mushed up beyond belief. Starting to ferment a little bit, I think, but anyway, it's what I had, so I ate them. And it just lifted me up. I don't know what it was. I hadn't felt like bananas for the whole race until that point. And then I had them and I felt awake again for the first time in many hours. And then I ran the last 3 hours solid, like not jogging, but a moderate pace through technical trails, and it felt really good. And I was overtaking people, just all those people that went through past me during the night. I overtook most of them over the next 3 hours, and it was hot, really hot, but it didn't seem to faze me. I just kept running and running and running and drinking, eating and drinking and eating and running and running, and I wasn't stopping. I was spending seconds at checkpoints, grab a few grapes, grab a couple of slabs of watermelon and just run, just keep moving. And I was moving at a good pace that whole time until the finish. In the last 4 miles of that race, I ran in 41 minutes, which is basically 10-minute mile pace for over quite technical trails. So it's, I felt like I was running really fast for me. So that was really amazing. And and I came, oh gosh, can I remember my placing now? I don't remember my placing, it's on my website. Maybe I came like 52nd or 53rd, but I can't remember, out of 160 starters, which was decent during seeing I had so many sleepy problems through the night. All those sleep monsters kept pulling me down and I couldn't seem to shake it. But a couple of bananas, somehow that was that warded them off. About 9 a.m. on the second day of the race. So that was a great race, and that was late August. Then I did all of Doug Graham's retreats in Sedro-Woolley, Washington, which were amazing. 7 weeks straight of incredible events, from culinary skills to just teaching you everything about mastery in every aspect of the raw vegan, 80-10-10 raw vegan lifestyle, from personal development to skills in the kitchen, culinary skills, through to just general health and all the fitness stuff, strength, cardio, flexibility. Neuro training is very important for fitness, the mind, training the mind, reflexes, things like that. Yeah, just really beautiful times. And then I came back to England after being in the US, and there stayed with a friend in London for 5 weeks, which was a great time. I got lots of work done on my book and had a lot of fun there. And yeah, and then I went to Chiang Mai, Thailand to hold the Thai fruit camp for runners, which is a running camp held at an Olympic grade facility in Chiang Mai, Thailand, up in the north of Thailand, put on by Ted Carr and myself. And we also had a guest coach there, Harry, who has been spending a lot of time in Chiang Mai and is a phenomenal runner. And yeah, the people that came to that had an amazing time. It was a small group, which was great for the first time we ran it. But we're holding it again in 2017. We haven't set the dates yet, but it's most likely going to be around the same time, early December. Maybe late November, possibly. I don't know. I've got to talk to Ted about it. But thaifruitcamp.com is the website. So yeah, that was an amazing experience. I look forward to running that again. And yeah, then came home to Australia after a couple of weeks after about a week, in Pattaya, Thailand, staying with my friend Jason. Then I flew back to Australia for Christmas. Caught up with my grandmother for the first time since my grandfather passed away while I was away. So that was nice. Visited my grandfather's grave. He was 96 when he died, and he passed away in the arms of my grandmother. So very loving close to about 70 years of life together. And so I put a dedication to them, to my grandfather, in my Inspired to Run book series. My grandfather was my first running coach, so we were very close. He also taught me many other things in life, from golf just to responsibilities and things like finishing off what's on your plate, stuff like that, just basic things in life. Respecting and valuing resources and people, and he was a good man, and I'll always think fondly of my grandfather. Yeah, so it was nice to visit his grave. I went for a long run, and until I found myself at his grave and navigated through the cemetery, found his grave, and spent a few minutes there just reflecting, and it was very nice. And then the big close the big close to 2016 was that the Narrabeen all-nighter was for the first time held through the years. So it started on New Year's Eve, 6 p.m, and you run for 12 hours until 6 a.m. New Year's Day. So you run across the years, and I'd never done that before. So I was running, you know, I could hear all the Sydney fireworks going off in the background while I was just running along this trail, and just high-fiving people, the other runners, and or just lighting up and saying Happy New Year and all that sort of stuff, because it's a 5k loop, so you're passing the other runners frequently, and there were a lot of other runners in the race, because they also held a marathon, the last marathon for the year, that finished just before midnight, and then another marathon that started at midnight, the first marathon for the year. So there's all these races going on the same course, and it was just a lot of fun with a lot of old friends there, and good times. So that was a great way to close out a brilliant year. I hope to see you guys in 2017. I'm doing most of the same events again. In 2017 I'll also be at the Denmark Fresh Food Festival, which I haven't been at for the last 2 years, so very excited to be back there. And life is good. 2017 is going to be phenomenal. I look forward to enjoying it with you.